Hey everyone, welcome to today's presentation on how, as a high performer who's frustrated by your ADHD, you can finally learn how to break free from second guessing, being too hard on yourself, perfectionism, and imposter syndrome. If you push yourself until you're exhausted, only to end up replaying criticisms in your head, then you are definitely in the right place. My clients aren't just managing their ADHD anymore. They're learning to thrive in new ways. Now, let's be clear, this is not for you if you're just looking for a quick fix, if you want like strategies or planners, like a productivity hack or something like that. This isn't for you. This is about changing how you see yourself and how you show up and take action in your life. I'm going to share with you a simple method, the ROAR formula, that's changing the lives of my clients. And most people aren't talking about ADHD in this way. So by the end of this, you'll understand why your ADHD struggles haven't improved despite all your efforts, and how you can finally break free and start making some real progress. But before I go any further, I'm here because of my frustrations with ADHD. And what I'm going to share has helped me personally in a big way. That's what started this whole thing. So when I was faculty at Vanderbilt, I started working with distressed doctors, and I did really well, serving hundreds of them. And I thought, oh, this is what I should do moving forward. But I struggled with creating that as my own business. And something just wasn't working. I didn't realize it at the time, but the problem was that I didn't know how to be true to myself. My sense of frustration would drive me, the pressure would drive me, fear of failure, and my need to prove myself. But they were driving me into the weeds instead of keeping me on course. Eventually, I just had to let go. And when I did, there was suddenly this moment of clarity. And I created the ROAR formula. Now, I knew from the science behind it that it would change my life. But within 2 weeks of using it, I was shifting profoundly. My self-confidence was skyrocketing, so much I was just shocked. I was succeeding in ways I never had before. And I just knew that I could keep succeeding for the first time. I started sharing that ROAR formula, and the same thing started happening for my clients. People reported their self-confidence going from 2 to 7 or higher in just weeks. They were actually getting new results and feeling differently about themselves, just like me. Now, the key was identifying the real problem, and it was not their ADHD. You see, if you have chronic frustration, pressure, and exhaustion, you're constantly fighting yourself. That rewires your brain for negativity, and that sabotages your results. I think of it like this. It's like your brain has an emergency brake, and if it's triggered, the harder you push the gas, the more that brake keeps pulling back even harder. That emergency brake effect is, believe it or not, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD. Now, even if you've heard of RSD, I bet you never heard anyone say that before. And I want you to listen carefully, because RSD goes far beyond what most people are thinking about it right now. And the most important part, the best part, maybe the only good part of RSD, is it is not a symptom of ADHD. It's a learned behavior. It's a brain behavior, but it's still learned, and it can be unlearned when you take the right steps. So RSD isn't just sensitivity to rejection. That's the beginning of it. But RSD keeps going, and it rewires your brain to stop you from getting rejected in the future by constantly keeping you stuck. With RSD, it's as though you ate a few bad meals and your brain decided, well, you shouldn't eat anymore. And that's one way to stay safe, but obviously not a great way. Boop. Okay. Now, most people don't understand the sabotaging power of RSD yet, so they believe you can solve your ADHD struggles with, something a little simple like, oh, if I just stay positive until I succeed, then I'll feel better. You tell yourself, if I accomplish enough, get the promotion, finish the degree, finally get it together, I'll feel confident. But it doesn't work because no amount of success in the past guarantees you won't fail in the next 10 minutes. I remember staring at a very challenging undergraduate degree I had earned and feeling stupid. RSD drains your confidence. No matter how much you achieve, it's like you're pouring water into a bucket with holes in it. Okay, the second myth we need to get rid of is that the right app will finally save you. You keep searching for planners and apps and hacks, hoping one will finally do the trick. But the problem is RSD actively sabotages all the effort you're putting into those routes too. If you don't address the RSD, no tactic will get you the results you're seeking. Myth number 3, I just need to keep pushing through. I'm tough, I can do it. If you keep pushing while the brakes are on, it's not just exhausting. You're actually harming yourself. You're making the RSD worse. It can cost you your health, certainly your happiness. It impairs your relationships. I can keep going, but I think you get the picture. Well, that's what happened to me. I'd get a lot done, but then I'd feel overwhelmed. I was seeing life as an endless series of problems to be struggled with, and it never did end. The ROAR formula helps because it follows 3 simple steps. Step 1, start in the right place and work on the right problem. It's not your ADD, it's your identity. You need to see yourself, including your ADHD, in a positive way. That's because it's who you are. When you see yourself rightly, this is how you start to turn off that emergency brake, unlock your potential and your motivation. Okay. Step 2 is the ROAR formula. This is a formula that grows self-confidence faster and in a deeper way than I thought was possible. So what exactly ROAR does is it helps you unlearn RSD, and you do it using rituals. The first R in ROAR is for ritual. It helps change the way you observe yourself. That changes the actions you take and the results you get. That's ROAR in a nutshell. So RSD really destroys your feeling of value and self-worth, but ROAR rituals recreate you as being of highest value. You're rewiring your brain for confidence and power, and you're changing your surface behavior and your deep energy underneath that behavior at the same time. So you feel aligned. You have integrity in yourself. That's why ROAR is such a unique solution. Now, my coaching isn't about fixing anyone. It's about unlocking and revealing who you really are. When you make this shift, self-sabotage disappears, and you can start to make progress with all those tips and tricks and planners and such. They are useful, right? So finally, step 3. Your success will be relational, or it just won't happen. So yes, ROAR is a method, but it's not done in a vacuum. I've helped thousands of people in my decades of counseling and coaching, and I promise you, RSD is not something that you can tackle alone. It's hard to fight an enemy that has outposts in your head. I think I can't remember, some artist said that, but it's just brilliant for RSD. You need to work with someone that makes you feel comfortable speaking your mind openly, and someone who has a deep understanding of RSD. My experience of RSD is very personal. Started when I was a small child, and I know I get that part. The other part of the question is, do you believe I might understand you and your life and your situation? Now, when I started using Roar, everything shifted for me. I stopped second guessing myself. I'm working more effectively. I'm communicating more. And my relationships are becoming healthier. For the first time, I'm trusting myself. What's been amazing is that it's working exactly the same way for my clients. And they get to experience the same kinds of transformation that I do. Okay, so we're winding down now. And I hope you'll agree that what I'm describing isn't just another productivity hack. The Roar formula is a neuroscience-backed system that's designed specifically for people frustrated by their ADHD. And you want to do better. My passion for this is very personal, but my method comes from my background as a faculty health psychologist and learning from world-class neuroscientists. But the really good part is the results. The results have been so exciting. To have my clients say things like, I feel so validated. Your rapid relief ritual is like magic. Or my confidence went from 2 to 7 or 2 to 7.5 in less than 2 weeks. Just be aware. RSD feeds itself. It doesn't fix itself. That's the most important thing to understand about it. It's self-perpetuating, and the longer you wait, sadly, this will continue, and it'll only get worse. If any of this resonates with you, you really might want to consider taking the next step of getting the support and guidance you need. If you believe I might be able to assist you, book a call. I'm here to help.